and protesters. They had the devil horns on the like the whole pictures and shit like that. They playing the digital images and shit.
Yeah.
Like anybody is going to be a hate crew, but it's like we really do live in a culture of people that don't take responsibility.
They don't.
I think that's the biggest question we could pose probably on Flat Earth. If they did come out and tell us, like, hey, you know what?
Could you handle
everything is not as it seems. This allegory of the cave, you motherfuckers asleep, and this is what it is. Could the people take it, and how would they take it?
Right, like they like, yeah, we know some aliens. Like,
and I got kids right now
here.
too, though, so I actually care. I actually care right now how the people would respond. I might say, hey, man, don't drop that bomb right now.
Right.
And you know it's going to be riots. It'll be the Walking Dead out here. Now I get
it. Right. And you see, these are great to have topics like this to speak on different things. I feel like, do you feel that, like, what is the craziest idea that they can come forward to you and be like, okay, this is true. Like, what do you think? What would really like mess you up if they came and told you this is what we've been lying to y'all about?
Nothing.
This is true.
I say stole two heads ahead of the game. Like,
damn.
Like, you feel me? I'm benevolent. Like, I really have a prophetic thing. I see it all. Like, I really believe. I'm waiting for the day. I really be the guy sitting back eating his popcorn. Like, I'm really just waiting for everything that's coming. And, like, I'm really, like, it's like, that's why it's like I probably believe in everything and believe in nothing. Like, I know it's a possibility that there's some truth in everything. Like, they want alien disclosure right now. Russia, and they saying, like, they on America right now. Like, hey, y'all know about the aliens. So come out with the aliens.
So nothing can shock bees, what you saying? Like, nothing sounds crazy to you?
No.
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Nothing will shock you.
I'm a YouTube University graduate, man. I watch everything, man.
Dave, like, will anything shock you, Dave? Like, is there nothing either?
Nah, I don't think nothing would shock
Nothing would shock you.
I'll be honest, Ouija boards do still scare me. I just had to think about it. I had to come clean. Like, I really thought to myself, like, I got humbled in purgatory. I was like, I really am the nigga. And I was like, nigga, you scared of Ouija boards. I'm like, ooh, why do people be playing with those?
See?
And, like, I have friends that's like, I play with Ouija boards. I'm like, and it moved. And you thought that was cool, huh?
But it wouldn't shock you though, because you already have heard that.
Oh no, I'm shocked.
No, that would freak me out too.
If somebody just whipped out a Ouija board on this table, I'm gonna equal. You probably see me feel the most squirmish I feel. Like, bro, you brought in the channeling thing. You brought in the thing that the spirits can chat through. They send emojis all through this motherfucker.
Okay.
Nah, I can't fuck with the Ouija board.
What about you, Rich?
I don't know, man. Being a black man in America, nothing is shocking to me either. Like, I'm just like, you kind of like, like.
it could happen. Boards too, nigga.
I'm not, honestly, man. I think I'm not really scared of Ouija boards. I think the only thing I'm really scared of, man, is just like, I guess just losing my kids and my family, man. Like, losing my family. That's something that really, like, put fear in my heart. But rather than that.
And that's the fucked up thing, is because that could be a reality over some silly shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Over some silly shit. Like, the fact that we have to even think about that is foul.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
we always in a mind state, like, something can happen to my babies over nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a really trippy thing to have to think about day in, day out.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. It really is. Like, I've never been scared. I'm not scared of death. I never have been. Like, I feel it's just it's a part of life or whatever you want to. Like, I mean, it's gonna happen. So why fear it? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna happen.
I mean, I fear like digging through the earth and coming out on the other side with my feet up and somebody snatch my J's off before they even get up good on the other side.
Hold up!
There's another nigga just dug through the other side, feet up.
They got a whole shoe store over there where people come through on the side of the earth. And he's collecting J's since about.
That's why everybody walk around. Everybody walk around with their shoes off of that motherfucker. We don't even wear shoes on this side of the earth.
Hey, you come on this side, get your shoes snatched, homie. Yeah, you come out foot first.
We wear our shit to sleep, nigga.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely good stuff. So
how we looking on time?
Man, we looking good on time, actually. I was going to ask y'all one more thing, though. Yeah. Is there anything that y'all have come to find out that you have been lied to? Something that you can...
Oh, man.
In life in general? Like,
I mean, in the media, in school, as far as what you've been taught.
I mean, they did a couple, like, ping pong moves on us, like, hey, Pluto's a planet, Pluto's not a planet, Pluto's a planet again. And it's like, nigga, you did me a lot of tests on this shit, and I got good grades on it. Then it's like, you tell me, nigga, we was wrong about that. Like, don't test me on this some shit unless you sure. Don't you tell me about no hot core until, nigga, we all can get burnt up. And like, what man, I'm hot now when I think about it.
Yeah.
I make myself hot thinking about how when you get lied to, you'll be hot because then you really want to know the truth. The truth is what sets you free. And that's the only thing I think that's wrong. It's not even what it is. It's that the fact you led me astray.
Yeah.
I done based so much shit off of this.
Right.
Off around Earth. You know how much of my life is based off of Circle Earth? That everything is just spinning around cool.
You think about
now
like,
you make me not be able to accept truth because now you done so adjusted my life to a lie that now to accept the truth is nothing.
And that's where I'm into the point at. And it's just like, to me, it's like when you say that, like now if they do come out and say, you know, the earth is flat or whatnot, but I done got to the point in my life where I'm just like, you know what, none of this shit really means nothing.
I gotta get out of purgatory.
You know what I mean? Like none of this shit really means nothing. Like we try to tell ourselves, you know, what is life and what it means, but we don't really know, man. It's just kind of like what it means to you. You know what I mean?
It's fun though.
Yeah.
I
know it's fun.
I had the perspective though. It could be like a real long LSD hit. It could be like some shit we hit in the most high. Like we was in heaven and it was like some shit called like third dimension or something. You feel me? You fire it up in the bomb. That shit gonna last you about 60 to 120 years. You feel me? Depending on how you take it. If you reckless with the shit, you may get.
And then you just wake up on flat Earth like, oh, I was tripping that long.
No, that's how you get here.
You get here because you tripping.
As soon as
it's
a
trip.
You're
It's over. You're gonna wake up. So is that death? You waking up from the LSD trip?
That's death. You wake up, you're like, oh, I see the bright light. You coming up out of your trip.
Makes sense. And people may laugh at that, but that could be like we don't know.
We didn't hit this shit
like
a lot of times,
that,
boys. We're drug addicts. I've been to Earth hitting this dope, and I be mad too every time I'm here. Like I'm addicted.
You know,
I need to leave it alone.
Like we really don't know. Even before we got on this earth, before we can like recollect, build our memory or whatever. Like even before we were here, like we can only go off what people tell us. Like we don't know. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
it's like
I just found out something new about the Native Americans. I had heard some stories from some of the Cherokee tribes. They claimed that they had came here from overseas and that there were already natives here. Well, now a lot of the Cherokee people are getting their DNA tested, and a lot of it's going back over to Israel and some places in the Middle East, just like they had claimed in their oral traditions. So that's something that maybe we were lied to. Maybe people just didn't know because they didn't tell nobody that they came over here and that they weren't the indigenous people of America.
Right.
That's just some recent stuff.
Fun fact.
High mind fact.
What
if the Earth was flat, right?
Yeah.
And say let's keep everything in context. Maybe there's certain stuff that's true. Maybe there are other worlds, right?
Yeah.
We'll call a third world country another world. That's a third world country, but it's not really another world as much as it's right here. If the Earth was flat and we really refer to continents as being like worlds, different worlds. This is the new world. That's a third world. If we put that in context, maybe they did tell us around ball, but it's all the same in perspective. There's other worlds or continents, should we say, further out. If it's flat, it may be infinite. It may keep going. And then it's like they said, they haven't been past Antarctica. Again, another spot. It's too cold. Our machines don't work. We can go to outer space, but we can't get through Antarctica. It's too cold. So what's on the other side of Antarctica? Right now they got like a lot of military bases. Russia got it shut down. There's parts of Antarctica you can't even try to go to right now. It's like Area 51. It's shut down. Say we get on the other side of this, what we haven't been through yet, and say we find, hey, it's still Jurassic Park up over here, man. It's still like some stuff we ain't
even knowing. Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
That's the new world.
I'm gonna leave a story. When we was out to sea, we were off like the coast of Mexico, man, out on the ship, and it was about 2 a.m. We on the flight deck, and we looked up into the sky, man, and you saw like, you know, it looked like something was coming into the atmosphere, like it caught fire. I'm like, okay, something falling. Like, I'm like, what is that? But then it changed direction and it goes outward,
like a V. Like it came down.
It came down, yeah. It made a V shape, bro, and it went out. And everybody on the flight deck, we were all looking at each other like, what?
Elon Musk is a motherfucker.
You know, so we sitting there thinking like, what? And nobody knew like what.
No radar, no nothing like that.
Nothing. It was like right above us, and we
That's crazy.
were like, what was that?
Did you guys ever figure out what it was?
No, like, and nobody, like, everybody on the flight deck that night, it had to be like maybe 50, 60 people on the flight deck that night, or that morning, or whatever. And we was telling people on the ship, but like, nobody kind of believe you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you said, I didn't see it, so I don't believe y'all. But all these people, like, bro, we saw that shit.
I think a reason we even seen a bigger attitude, or like a bigger reason why people are tripping off this stuff, is because, like you said, like you think about ancient times when people would say they see stuff like
Right.
this. We had to take your word, and we know, like you said, we got horrible character as human beings.
Right,
Man,
yeah, like
man, you tell me some shit that wild, man. You better be of astounding.
they told me Jesus had fair skin and blue eyes. Like, I'm supposed to believe that shit. Like, I'm supposed to believe that. You know what I mean?
You seen the pictures?
Yeah, who fuck painted them pictures? Are they credible? Are they a credible
NASA
source?
painted them pictures. I heard.
You see, I'm trying to tell you, right?
NASA.
See, so we don't know. That's what's go back to it, man. We just don't know, man. You think we'll ever find out?
I mean,
We getting close, but I'm saying like now I think with technology, this is something we've never had, or at least we want to believe we never have. Who's to say like the ancient Egyptians didn't have electricity and everything else, and it's just the remnants of it's not there for us to see. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't know what technology they had, but for us, we have so much technology today. I think we are getting to that Celestine point where everybody's starting to kind of like wake up to the fact like, okay, this is actually kind of phenomenal when people in Mexico are getting pictures, people in America are seeing strange thing in the air, Australia, all over the world, people are seeing strange, and now it's documented. Now everybody got real footage, real videos, because everybody now can record. You don't have to have a camera at the right moment. If something shocking happens, I can get it right now, and that changes the dynamic between, like I said before, I had to believe somebody's character versus it's a lot of evidence right now telling me this don't make sense. Like when we faked that first moon landing, per se, if you believe they faked the first moon landing, we're able to see this because the technology that was used then, we've so surpassed that it's now I can look back on that and see how this thing was shot and how it was actually. They're taking the old moon footage and turning up the hue on the video, and you can see that digitally that round Earth is actually set in there, like you copy and paste it in there, and then blacken it so it looks like a half Earth sitting in.
Oh, it's like the movies when you watch the older movies on high def television. Now you like, oh, that's a prop, and that's
but if this was authentic footage, I wouldn't be able to find these glaring holes in it. So now we got technology that's like we're actually getting to a point to where I think even the government's knowing we're gonna have to disclose. That's what they're saying. Certain other people saying we're gonna have to disclose and tell them something. Not even necessarily tell them maybe what's going on, but we're gonna have to tell them something because they're seeing through the lie. And I don't know. I don't even know if the government seen that coming with the release of the internet. Like that's what I believe
that's really what it is too. Like the net neutrality thing, I believe, because and you also look at it like this, like you say that it's exposing shit, right? So governments are being called out now. Like, you know what I mean? Even police departments, you know, like we're real, like they showing cops playing dope on people now. You know what I mean? And everyone is getting exposed. And I think like back to touch on our subject last week, it's like we talk about social media. It's like I think the government wants to control because you say like so many people are finding out. And think about it, people are seeing. Like, for instance, everybody in America is like, fuck Trump, whatever, right? And then you got people in North Korea. Like, these two are going back and forth. But to the people beneath them, they're like, yo, this motherfucker calling your bluff. Are you actually going to push this button or what? You know what I mean? So I think social media has turned this thing up to, like...
Black Mirrors.
Yeah, Black Mirrors once again, bro. And I think that's why they're trying to contain it, too, because they like too much information is out there
We dropped
now.
this, and it's never been dropped like this before.
Yeah.
We actually seen the progression, because this was scary when you look at that. Like, I say the Mandela effect. I was talking to one of my friends, Joey Diggs, I went to college with. He sings and stuff, but he was tripping off, like, the movie Richie Rich, and how he was FaceTiming on there with his dad on there. And he's like, you know, this movie came out early 90s. We now have this stuff
The
today.
Simpsons
It's almost
it
was almost like the prophetic, like we're showing y'all what's to come. And then I always tripped off of like Back to the Future. I'm like, bro, like we have these plasma TVs now. It was plasma TVs in the future, and he was FaceTiming his boss. He got fired by his boss on the TV because I can FaceTime my boss on the TV, and it's like we really have smart TV. We really had this stuff.
We have all this stuff. Yeah. But what do they see past this? What we have now? Like what do they see past?
I think you're right with the containment. I think that was my point, and I got off subject because I get caught up in going deep into the rabbit hole sometimes. The containment of it is very necessary because we are seeing that like we've showed you where we're headed, but now that we're actually there, it's a lot of stuff that has to be contained now.
Right.
Because
once again, can you handle it?
Oh no! Like
I'm
mad about every dirty picture I've taken on my phone because I feel like Google Photos, they are over there having a field day.
Oh yeah, they see
and you only feel good in your circle world. That it's like no, nobody sees this or nobody knows, but it's like I really know.
Mhm.
There's a whole MIB over there at Google.
They hold
that
everything.
They know everything.
Everything
and they
we
watch
send
everything.
out.
They see it.
This much we feel like we know about